for this one we're gonna go a bit more complex. It's probably more of a group technique than a single player technique, and the kiting technique number 2, well, revolves around the car. Okay, the car represents something Jason usually wants to stop ASAP. He doesn't want to let it go free, and you can see it very clearly on the minimap. And you can hear the engine starting across the map. So, well, let us talk about the car first. This is my sophisticated car. Well, it doesn't really matter. Let's just slice it up. Now, let's just assume it's a 4-seater. The 2-seater is the same with the exception that he doesn't have 2 of those seats. Okay? So the car is driving, the steering wheel is on the left side, right? The driver is here. Jason can grab out any of the survivors from these points. From the outside. And only from these points. Otherwise, like, he cannot grab you out from the front or anything. You will remain sitting in the car as long as you wanna until he comes here or you stand out. Now, if you bump with positive velocity into Jason, either backwards or forwards, and Jason can also be on the ground. He doesn't have to be standing for it. As long as you bump into him, he will stop the car and then you have to restart it, right? So usually what happens is people drive forward, Jason teleports somewhere, into the front and tries to block the road. On some maps, like where there's a bridge and stuff, you can actually not outmaneuver him. He would just go AFK on the bridge, literally. So what's the best way to drive then? Well, it's not a foolproof way, but it's a very solid way, and that is backwards. I know it sounds weird, right? But there's several reasons why you want to go backwards. Going from backwards into forward motion is very fast. Secondly, you are allowed to bump a bit with your rear. You're not really allowed to bump with your front. Car scooter. Allowed with the rear. So what else does driving backwards entail? Well, driving backwards always means you're driving backwards relative to Jason, okay? So if he's behind you, well, then you would go forward again. To Jason. So even if you go backwards, you are still faster than a running Jason, so that means he always still has to use teleport and shift to get your car to stop or to reach this position. These positions are not really interesting for him because, you're the driver. So he's either going to come for you, which is the advanced tactic, or he's going to try to go behind you. So when that happens, then you're free to go forward instantly again, right? And then when he tries to get in front of you again with the next ability, you can go backwards again. Now, how do you escape? Well, technically, I think there is no way that you can force the escape. If anything, Jason can probably force you to stay inside. I mean, the car is not very good, right? But that's not the point. We're not talking about the car here in order to escape. We're talking about the car in order to kite. Because sure as hell, you pose a threat that if he doesn't care about you, you're out. He doesn't need to know that you have no intention of leaving, right? Another big reason, car has a honk. Press F. It's very good salt generator. As you slowly drive backwards, just meep 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 meep, make a nice little sound. No, but we can still like try and trick him into victory. There is some maps where the exit. My driving. Okay, This would be the big road, and this is towards the exit, okay? So you would be driving backwards, like here, and when he makes a mistake of going behind you here, you go forward and out before he can recuperate. Or you can try something like a turn like this. Of course, this will be off-road, so there's many trees that might disagree with you, but you can still try. Well, now what else can we do with the car for kiting technique? Well, let's just imagine you have done this 5 minutes with him, and now he doesn't really want to hunt you anymore. Now you're looking for a wall. And then you park your car right this, with you being here as the driver, okay? Now he has absolutely no way of reaching you anymore, and he can only watch you. You could literally, maybe I shouldn't say that, but you can wait 20 minutes there because he cannot get you out from here. He cannot touch you from there because there is a wall, right? And he cannot squeeze in between either. And he can dongus from in the front and behind as much as he wants. It's not going to get you out of the car. Same is of course true for the guy behind you. The guys on the right side though, they better they better start running. So what do you need for the car? Well, it's a bit difficult these days. You need a set of keys. They need to be inserted once. Of course, gas and battery. Now I would like try to take the two-seater, not to take any actual means of escape away. And then you can just drive circles. Just drive circles. You will waste so much time, of the killer. And then worst case, you can still, just park next to a house until he surrenders. Or leave it like, just get out and leave it for someone else. It's a very... if you want, we have a highlight where I do this 10 minutes. It was on my first attempt, and the killer kept screaming that we should at least let him have one kill. Okay, so the point is, backward relative to Jason, so that when he tries to stop the car, you reverse again relative to him, and he just lost his shot. If you try forward backwards, it's a bit more difficult. Also, you have a better control over the car driving backwards, but let's just say view is limited, so stick to the main roads. No off-roading backwards. It's a bit risky. All right.